All right, welcome to the show. Welcome, everyone. Tonight is December 31st, 2024. We are on the cusp of 2025, and we have our guest panelists. We have Stuart. Welcome to the show, Stuart. We have Josh, and then we have Mr. Robert Hagen with us tonight. And let's just go around real quick. Introduce yourself. Let me know what you're doing in the week. We'll start off with Stuart. How's it going, Stuart?
Oh, it's going great. What am I doing? Well, pretty much focused on what's happening right now in the world. I work on the blog most of the time, and very much concerned with how soon we're about to get raptured. So that's pretty much my focus at the moment.
Nice. Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you.
Josh, what's happening in your crazy world?
Oh man, we won't even get into that. Besides videos being taken down all the time by they, you know what I mean, and everybody, kind of coming at me with everything they got. Just happy to be here, happy to be still serving the Lord, and what a great intro that was. I absolutely love it. I'm a bit jealous. All right, I don't get jealous, but I'm totally peanut butter and jealous over that.
All right, that's cool. Funny. Yeah, I just grabbed my logo. I'm like, I want my logo to come out like this.
I was literally like, oh.
Yeah. So that was fun.
You guys are amazing. Every time Shane does something like that, it blows my mind because it's always different, always unique. Not that you're different, but you are unique. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think I am different too.
He's the Black Swan.
But how you been, Robert?
I've been doing pretty well. It's I'm blessed to be with you guys. It's we're just about ready to start another year, and we're still here. And I've been working on putting another teaching together for my little thing I do on Uptime called As He Leads, and it's going to be about God's special forces. And it's I don't know. I think the Lord's really inspiring me to put some stuff out there about how we, as followers of the Lord Jesus Christ, and you guys are the watchmen. I'm just I don't know if I'd consider myself to be a watchman. I really love teaching the Word, so it's been working in my heart to really look at the guys in the book of Acts as being the special forces that Jesus sent out to take his word and really, it says the whole world was turned upside down by these guys, a bunch of rowdy fishermen. So go figure. These guys weren't polished seminary students or anything. These guys were, everyday people like you and I. And look what they did. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love the way you put that, Robert. That's poetry, man.
That's good.
Bunch of rowdy fishermen, that. And God bless you for that. I needed to hear that, man, because I come from the bottom of the barrel. I'm, right out of the gutter. You know what I mean? And I'm just so thankful that Jesus would want me doing what I'm doing right now. And I thank you for those words, man. I wouldn't compare myself to the disciples at all. I'm just saying, it's cool that God can take someone that's the least likely. You know what I mean? Amen, Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I grew up in California back in the, I hate to use the term the day, but I did. And, people were experimenting with everything. We were like part-time chemists where I grew up, and not in a good way either. And then all of a sudden, these people came around. They were talking about this guy by the name of Jesus. And, I knew a little bit about him, but I got involved in Eastern religions, and then one day somebody had the audacity to invite me to a fellowship. And that was all it took. And I'm really, truly thankful for that day, because at least I had the opportunity to learn about this man, Jesus Christ. And he's changed my life. He's changed history. And I know we all have stories, but it's... I'm thankful we can still do this. And I appreciate Shane doing this tonight. It's it's a blessing to be able to go on here in a free country and do this. I know you guys are thankful for it too. There's so much, I'm not even going to put any kind of lightweight stuff on it. There's so much garbage out there right now. It's just truly garbage, filth that people are inundating their minds with. But when you come along with the recipe that can really change people's lives, it's an amazing thing. That's to quote my brother Michael Pels. He's talking about how amazing God is, and he really is. So thankful for you guys tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting when you mention Michael, like you can just tell Michael loves the Lord. Like every time he brings it up, you could just see the joy of the Lord on his heart. Like every day, like whenever he makes a video, he's excited about Jesus. And that's what I appreciate about Michael. Like he is awesome. I wish I knew him in person, as in we were neighbors, because I think we would be good friends. He seems like a cool guy to hang around with. So I really appreciate him. But Stuart, thanks, Bob, for sharing. Stuart, so I think you spent a lot of time. I know you've been sending me quite a bit of emails on verses in regards to rapture verses and all this kind of stuff. Are you thinking about perhaps writing a book or something like on Amazon or something that because you got a lot of material. You got a lot of material.
Well, what I did was I took my blog and I took all my posts and just put them together into PDFs. So I made them 400 pages at a shot. So I have 10 PDFs that are 400 pages each. So
wow.
But every single post is, always has a Bible verse. So that's the focus. It's, what is the Bible saying? So anything that has anything at all to do with, this time, what it's going to be like, the events that take place, the prophecies, and, I got a lot from other brothers too. So I spent a lot of time, combing through, what other people are sharing. And, most of it is not very useful, but every now and then you find someone who is quite useful.
Right.
I enjoyed something yesterday. A brother shared about, the 10 virgins with the lamps. That word is not lamp. So a lamp would be a small little light that you would, so like with the verse in Psalms where it says, the word of God is the lamp unto my feet. That's a small little light. It's like a candle that you would, like, you'd walk to bed, in a dark house with or something. No, the word that they have is torch. So which they're calling lamps. So the 10 virgins were lighting torches. That's not for your feet. That's for the road. They're lighting the way for others to go to the Lord. And the brother was sharing. So it's not about are they saved and do they have the Holy Spirit? It's about, do they have a testimony that they're sharing? Are they speaking out? Because we're witnesses. So when you're a witness and you're sharing your testimony, it's lighting the narrow way for others to follow. So that's what I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have heard this. I just saw this now. Who is it that mentioned it? Just scanning through about in regards to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico seems to be
Enrique.
Yeah, black.
Yeah. What's have you heard that? Have you all seen that Puerto Rico's blacked out with no lights? Ain't that suspicious? Definitely suspicious on all levels.
We had a major solar flare that was going to hit today, so that might have been. I don't know.
So is that normal for entire regions to get blacked out because of a solar flare? I haven't heard that, but
if it's big enough, yeah, it can definitely. And if your power system's not, grounded enough, yeah, I suppose.
I always lean. Maybe that's just the nature of my channel, but I always lean on the side of conspiracies that somebody is flipping the switch and or are cutting some of the wires with the C cables and all this kind of stuff, and like up to no good. That's kind of, I don't know if that's my lens that I have. Maybe I should take off those lenses for a sec, but
I don't think Puerto Rico is getting electricity through sea cables, but you're right. It might be sabotage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I just mean like I'm always looking at the sea cables. One day, does somebody just grab a big pair of scissors and just go snip, snip, snip underwater in a nice little scuba suit and cut all the cables, and then all of a sudden America has no.
Well, they've had problems
No.
with that. You know,
Yeah.
the cables that run across the Atlantic and up into Scandinavia, they've
Yeah.
been having problems with those for quite a few months now.
Yep.
And you know, there's a lot of things going on. I was
Yep.
just gonna. I was hearing you say that about Puerto Rico. You know, Haiti and Puerto Rico and Cuba and Jamaica. There's an awful lot of voodoo down in that part of the. And you know, you can't really get around it. It's there's either you're following the one true and living God or you're not. You know, if your desire is to live for Him and to follow the truth, or are you going to go, follow a medicine man or a shaman or somebody who's into voodoo and all those types of things? But I don't mean to be negative about it, but there is an awful lot in that part of the world. And when people come to the truth, it changes. Revival starts with each person, and there is a lot of stuff going on in that part of the world right now. And I think the enemy is out there, and I know he's out there, and he'd like to really discourage people from seeking the truth, whatever way he could do it. Like throwing all these quote unquote drones out there. We know that they know what's going on. These guys with these drones or whatever they are. I'm not really sure how to interpret that, but I think that there's other parts of the world that are probably being blacked out at the same time, and that's how fragile things are right now. But we know that God is still all powerful, and He's not any weaker than He's ever been. I mean, He's as strong as He's ever been, and people still need to. He still wills that all men to be saved and come to knowledge of the truth. Well, what about me? You don't know all the bad things I've done. It doesn't really matter.
Amen.
Because Jesus Christ laid down His life for you and for me. That's one of the things I try to do when I'm on these things, is to be an encourager if I can, and say that, look, if He could save an old hippie like me, believe me, He can save you. you know, and that's I rest my case there. It's
I think the prophecies being fulfilled are very encouraging. I mean, just the idea that things that we couldn't even have imagined 20 years ago, the Lord and the Apostle John and the Apostle Paul, they're telling us these things are coming and they're explaining to us what we need to do. I mean, that tells me the Lord knows exactly what's going on and He's in charge, and just trust Him. So I find it very encouraging to talk about the prophecies, especially being fulfilled.
Yeah, thank you for that. And that's encouraging too. It's not, when we come on here and we talk about these things, everybody has a long suit, in particular things when it comes to the Word of God. And one of the things I've learned over the years is that we all need each other. I need your guys' strengths really big time. And I guess once in a while I can hit it, but we all need each other. And that's why, the fellowship is so important. It means sharing fully. And when we do this, it's, we're edified, we're built up. We don't come on here and all we do is complain about how messed up the country is because of a certain administration that was in there. We all know that. It doesn't really make that much difference. But when we can come on here and give people some hope, I know you guys are like, because I know, maybe some of you guys I don't know that well, but others I do. And I think that when we finish up, we can feel that we've at least given people an opportunity to, give. And I say this too much, maybe. I apologize, Shane, but give Jesus Christ a chance, folks. I mean, you've got nothing to lose at all. You
Yeah.
don't. And you've got everything to gain. And
Yeah.
Buddha never said I was the way. I'm the way, the truth, and the life, because I was a Buddhist, and he never said that because he didn't have a right to say it. But Jesus said that, and he said, "No man comes to the Father except by me." So he either told the truth or he lied. And if he lied, you're wasting your time. But if he told the truth, which I believe he did, we got everything to live for. So
Absolutely.
Can I share a verse I really enjoyed this morning, getting
For
ready
sure.
for tonight?
For sure.
It's Revelation 22:13. And I didn't realize this, but it's like I think it's a prophecy. So he says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Now we know this year, from 2017 to 2024, you had these 3 solar eclipses that wrote out a left tav over the United States, which is Alpha and Omega. So the beginning of the church age began with Alpha and Omega, and he's telling us this is the end of the church age. That's what the Alpha and Omega means. This is now the end. It's not the beginning. So I thought that was pretty cool.
For sure. Yeah, I like whenever Bob has a way of bringing us down back to earth kind of thing, because sometimes we get a little bit, on edge, conspiracy, all this kind of stuff, World War III, World War IV, World War V kind of thing. But I like Bob's heart. He has a way of bringing us back down to earth. And I think, we've seen so much stuff go on in the last year. Like it's been crazy. Trump's assassination attempt, Japan having an earthquakes all over, feels like more than ever. Tsunamis, I think just the other day, where was it? A tsunami actually just hit just off the coast. And then also you have Damascus falling. Yeah, like it's just, you can't keep up with the news. That's how much stuff is going on. It's actually crazy. Like if you're a guy like Tom Cody on Watchman River, like I bet you he is backlogged on stuff to talk about, just backlogged, because there's so much going on every single day, and he only has 30 minutes to talk about. He should come on here live, because then he can unpack and catch all up for 2 hours, 3 hours at a time. But 30 minutes, man, you're just getting warmed up, and all of a sudden you got to go.
yeah, don't you love Tom? Tom is so mellow. We watch him, and he has just a real peaceful, gentle way of sharing the truth. And I know that we're. I'm just thankful for any brother or sister that's out there sharing the truth. And,
He used to share with us, suggestions on what we should eat. Now he doesn't have time for that anymore. So
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's backlogged on all this. I used to enjoy that, where he would talk about all kinds of different sandwiches, different kinds of snacks and combos. Ooh, and what about this? Ooh, and what about that? I think you should have this. Or he would say something like, I'm not going to talk about suggestions for food, but if I was, this is what I would
Yeah.
eat.
We need to find out his location and send him and figure out how to get a pepperoni and cheese pizza to him while he's doing his program.
That would be funny. Just,
You
just a
know?
little, we should just set up a buffet outside of his car.
Yeah, there
And
you
then
go.
you just have a bunch of people gathering around, and then he could recommend sushi or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
So what do you got for us there, brother Josh? It looks like you're firing up some stuff here. What do we got going on here?
I could definitely take us down that conspiracy rabbit trail. Interestingly enough, not a lot of people are talking about it, but the night that the Pope did that portal opening ritual thing or whatever, where you open the doors. The first one was the Saint Peter's Basilica, and the Earth shifted 40 miles. The magnetic north shifted 40 miles that day.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
you
all of a
mentioned it.
sudden, and I don't know if Robert is, Brother Rob is having the same stuff, but where I'm at in Michigan, we should have a couple of feet of snow and there ain't nothing. And it's been raining. You know what I mean? And weather patterns are shifting, and this portal opening stuff with like CERN and all this different stuff, it takes me, and I'm not trying to promote any bad movies here, man.
No.
I'm not.
Watch this, Josh. Watch this for a
Right.
sec. Watch this. That's why whenever you say something suspicious, I'm going to do something for you. That way, I agree with you 100%.
Oh man, that cracks me up, bro. I needed that. I needed a good laugh today. It's been a rough day. Oh man, the inside jokes that can spawn from that. We need to get you and Gary Gates together on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so but it reminds me of that movie The Mist. And there's all these reports of people filming in the fog that's going on all over the place. And it's weird. It's like particulates. You know what I mean? And some people are like, it smells weird. It's smelling odd. You know what I mean? And they're saying that there's stuff going on. And honestly, like, I truly believe like I think we've been kind of in a season where there's been a lot of activity demonically happening, a lot of supernatural, paranormal things taking place on the earth. I think things are beginning to shift and change in that sort of direction, because we know we're getting close to the time. You know what I mean? And there's this quickening and this amplification that's happening. And if you go to that one video right there, 827, right there, it says 827 on the end.
Got it.
This guy, that's a Ring doorbell, and this guy filmed these particulates in the air. And I find it really strange,
It is strange.
Yeah,
strange.
So
Like, okay, so it's also strange. I don't know what you're talking about, but when you say particulates, what particulates? What are you talking about? Like,
you don't see all the stuff floating around in the air right there on the Ring doorbell?
Yeah, so where is that coming from?
That's the point. That's the point. And then if you click on 316,
let me just play it one more time. Let me play it one more time. So there's nothing. It's not snowing, is what you're saying.
No, that is not snowing. That's Florida, bro.
What?
Yeah, that's Florida.
Okay, that's nuts. Okay, let's go to this.
And then this guy is saying that the fog has like a weird smell to it. I hope there's no cussing in it.
Smell?
Yeah, it's probably that mist that those UFOs were spraying all over you guys.
But this is fucked up.
Oh,
Whoops.
yeah, there's cussing. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna get banished. All right, is that the only one, or does he drop more bombs?
No, just cut it out. Just cut it out. But you can see from the picture, he's saying that it smells weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. Yeah, thank you for muting it. But it's weird that this is happening all over the place, and these particulates are being seen, and then people are waking up in the morning and there's like a sticky residue on things. You know what I'm saying?
So bizarre.
And it's like what is going on, dude? These, like you were saying, the drones that are spraying stuff, all this different stuff. It's like I'm telling you, there is something. And then, like you said earlier, this power going out in Puerto Rico, and wasn't there another place the power went out just recently? Wasn't it? Wasn't it Cuba where the power went out and they had like a complete?
Cuba. Yeah, maybe something did happen in Cuba.
Yeah.
If I could just throw out a little suggestion that might be what's happening. On average, we get about 100 tons of dust and sand-sized particles from asteroids and stuff hitting the Earth. Now, if we're going through something right now, we could be getting a whole lot more of that stuff coming down. And sometimes these asteroids have hydrocarbons. There's actually even a theory that that's where hydrocarbons come from. So, they could definitely have a petroleum smell to them.
So wouldn't they mention that and say, "Hey guys, we're just about to go through an asteroid belt. Buckle up. It's going to start smelling a little bit like petroleum. All this kind of stuff. It just feels like we're left in the dark here."
They did mention it. Didn't you see Obama's movie about? Was
The
that
world
his?
we left. Yeah, the world
Leave
we
the
left
world
behind.
behind.
Or Don't
Yeah.
Look Up? What was the Don't Look Up one? That was different. No, they're not telling you anything. For example, you've heard a lot about how climate change. Probably, am I right? Everybody's heard about climate change.
No. What is that? What is that thing?
So in the last 100 years, I think sea level's risen like 2 centimeters or something,
Right.
which and the average depth of the ocean is 2 miles. So you can do the percentages on that. But in the meantime, in the exact same time, earthquakes have risen 1,000%. So we were measuring earthquakes since 1950, and you can measure them all over the earth. So since 1950, you've seen this increase in earthquakes to where we're getting 10 times as many today as we did in that, way more than 10 times in 1950. But so they're not telling you anything about that because it's got nothing to do with their narrative. So
I'm going to curb it back where I was going with this. And even Fred Deo in the live chat, he was saying one lady in Texas had weird foam in her pool. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people from across the board, all over the United States, and I'm hearing a lot of the same stuff that this.
Like, what do you mean?
Strange.
Like you have soap sometimes in a pool. Like if you put too much cleaner, I don't know.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I know that there's a lot of weird things happening and taking place all across the board where people are saying that this foam smells like it's got chemicals in it, or it's got like a sulfuric smell or whatever. Just not, things aren't as they were. I mean, these people live in these areas. They know their areas. They're saying that this is strange. This doesn't happen all the time. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the first asteroid belt that we've been through. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that one thing or the other. I just think that there's something strange going on, and I'm trying to point these out and say I think that they're planning something big. I really have that feeling. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people might disagree with me, but I think 2024 is relatively mild compared to what happened in 2020 all the way to like 2022. You know what I mean? 2024 was relatively mild. Now, I'm not talking about what was going on in the Middle East. That was pretty rough, you know what I mean? And definitely an uptick and stuff. And I think that we're going to see more of that. But, just something seems fishy, man, with all of the stuff that's happening. And the earth shifting, 40 miles. I think that's a significant shift. We know in Isaiah it says that the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Jet streams are going to change. Weather patterns are going to change. I remember that my grandma, when she was younger, she's like, back in the schoolhouse, is what she would say. God bless her. She said that they taught that eventually Florida would be like Michigan and Michigan would be like Florida. That there would be like a pole shift that would take place. And I don't know if that's the case, but it seems that, everything's strange with the shifting of the earth, all this weird phenomenon happening right at the same time. All this occult activity is taking place, just like back in the day during, this whole thing that happened in the Mojave Desert with Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard and that ritual Babylon working they did. The whole entire thing about aliens and UFOs started to explode after that. And, it's just like, I think we're in another season, and I think God's people need to armor up, and be prepared for whatever could be about to take place. I know that a lot of people believe the rapture is going to happen right now, but we don't know that. And so I think that, we need to be prepared for any aspect that could come at us so we don't be taken off guard.
Yep, for sure. Here's, I want to share this real quick. This is kind of interesting.
Another kissy face.
Yeah, a little one, maybe. If you say something like aliens or something crazy, I'll put up a face for you. That way you'll know you got my attention. There might be a little bit of a delay because I'm not very fast. All right, so here's Puerto Rico down here. As you can see, whoa, there's so many cables, man. These are all the sea cables. There's Puerto Rico right there. So these are kind of the main ones here. So if you start cutting these, like Let me see if I can zoom out here. Let me see. Zoom out. Out Egbert. Look at that. Those are all C cables, just so you know. Like that's a lot of cables. You start taking a good pair of scissors and you start cutting those cables, man, you're going to do some damage, especially here from Europe all the way to North America through the Atlantic. All you have to do is just take a submarine and go right here and just go snip, 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 snip. And these guys are cut off. It's crazy, man. And don't forget about that one little wire right there. Cut that one. Done. It's crazy, right? Like you don't realize how vulnerable we are. It's just nuts. I never knew about this stuff before 3 years ago. I didn't know any of these submarine cables existed. I never even heard
What
of
are those dots by Michigan and the Great Lakes? What do those represent?
Let's see here. Michigan. So down here, I guess you're talking about. Oh, up here.
No, down.
So here we go. There's
little cables that go across the Great Lakes.
Yeah, exactly. So just little isn't that funny? Just cuts right across. That's just easier for them than the satellites. Satellites cost too much money, too much energy to do that. You gotta keep it in the sea, man. Got to keep it under the ocean. That seems to make the most logical sense. When you see Amazon buying a sea cable ship, you see Google buying a ship, you see Meta, Microsoft, all these companies are buying these big ships so they can lay out better and better cables. They're not going up. They're not investing in satellite technology. The only one that we know of that's really big is Elon Musk. And my brother-in-law actually in Estevan said that he has a Starlink. He says they're out in the middle of nowhere and they have really good reception. So this is like a promo for Starlink. If you don't have Starlink, folks, right now, for $99.95, you can have Starlink in your house installed by Elon Musk himself.
Thanks.
We lost Bob. Did he get raptured?
Maybe. I thought it was John. Oh, yeah, Bob left, yeah.
Bob just disappears every once in a while. Maybe he'll be back. That's kind of his fancy way of going. He just is like Elvis, when Elvis leaves the building.
Oh, you coming in here?
Disappear.
Oh, come in here, big boy. They're shooting off fireworks, and my dog's scared right now.
Aw.
He's back and forth through the door there.
What time is it where you are right now?
It's 9:06 p.m.
Okay. So
Yeah,
starting a little early. Early.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be all night, and he's terrified of fireworks, man. I feel he'll sit there and like just tremble, dude, and I feel so bad for him.
Oh wow.
Man,
Yeah, that's
poor
not
guy.
fun. That's not fun at all.
No.
Are
And
you
think of what they're feeling, It's like goodness.
Are you
I remember.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish your
I
thought.
remember seeing a video of when those rockets, detonate in Israel. Some of them little dogs, man, just shaking, dude. And it's just on a constant basis over there. I just feel bad for the animals, man.
I never even thought about that. Places where they have bombs going off like that like Russia, Ukraine, like the animals must be just horrified. Talk about stressed meat.
Yeah.
If you want to eat deer or if you go hunting, that meat's already stressed. It's not going to be good meat if you do kill it.
Right.
Because they've been running probably for the last couple of years fleeing. Crazy, man. Crazy.
We gave him some medicine to hopefully calm him down. It's just like a herbal type of like a liquid that you put in his mouth. And so I hope that helps him, but it really doesn't. Nothing really stops him from shaking.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, he just does it for hours and it goes until midnight. You know what I mean? And it's like, so he's got 3 hours of just straight boom, boom, boom. And could you imagine sitting there tremoring for, 3 or 4 or 5 hours straight?
No, that'd be crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on the side of somebody just commented, do you think there'd be a Black Swan event in Times Square tonight? I'm kind of leaning on that. I haven't watched anything, but there was actually a shooting in the Bronx, I think yesterday morning, or was it this morning? Might have been yesterday morning. There was a couple of people going around shooting people in the Bronx. All you need is just a couple of those events to shut everything down, and nobody's going anywhere. You're going to start. I'm actually surprised that the United States of America isn't in lockdown right now. I'm actually surprised. I was predicting that after Trump got in, that right away after the elections that you guys would go into lockdown, and I was wrong. But it feels like you guys could be at any time. Somebody just has to do something silly to cause massive fear. It could be something to do at Times Square. You cause a big panic because you got a lot of people there. A lot of people celebrating tonight. I don't know what the weather is like in New York right now, but usually they're going pretty hard to bring in the new year. So
something I'll say is it's usually the events they don't talk about that take place. And there hasn't been a lot of talk this year, like, oh, hyped up security at Times Square or anything like that this year. You know,
yeah.
there's so many terrorist cells out there. And I mean, there's so many gatherings happening tonight. It does make you wonder what could happen, you know?
Yeah, there's been like zero coverage saying we're going to ramp up security. I would be like ramping it up like crazy, especially for New York, but they're not even like with all the drones going on. I am baffled. I'm baffled by how all the stuff like in Canada, we're not allowed to just take our drones anywhere we want and fly them. Like if you fly them at a certain height in your neighborhood, you could get a fine.
Yeah.
So it's weird that in America, I guess you guys do things different there. You guys just play around with drones all the time and you can do whatever you want and nobody says anything. It's weird.
I get them flying over my house all the time. You know, you'll see at night, you just stand out
really
for a little bit. And people use them to
these
because they can record.
They're not drones that are run by individuals. These things, they're the size of a bus. These are military.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
You're talking about the ones over New Jersey
and everywhere else. Look, they're just letting you know they are ready when after the rapture comes to be able to hunt down all the Christians. It's clear. I mean,
part of it, I would agree with that.
Okay, here we go. Watch this. It's not supposed to make you laugh. It's not supposed to. That was my serious look. That's my serious.
Revelation 13. We're seeing the beast system rise. This whole war you're seeing in the Mideast and now in Ukraine, it's AI. AI is running all these drones that are doing all these attacks. This is what they always do. They develop some new technology, and this started in 9/11, and then now they roll it out, and it's whoever can, because they understand whoever can have artificial intelligence with these supercomputer. What are these new computers now? Quantum computers. That they're going to rule the world. So it's the Antichrist, and the beast system is rising. So
yeah, it is interesting that I've watched a few briefings, and basically they'll say, "Don't shoot these things, and we're not going to shoot them down because they're not causing any harm." And I'm like, how do you know they're not going to cause any harm? And you see them dumping mist over neighborhoods, and it's like, nothing to see here, folks. This is just fertilizer for your grass in the summer. Don't worry about it.
Don't look here. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'll be honest with you. Things start to change when they make drone rounds for shotguns.
Oh,
you know
man.
What I mean? Like, I mean, you could call it birdshot, but I mean, they just got to make money off it and call it a drone round, a drone show.
Yeah, we're not far away from them for having drones patrolling the streets. You don't even need a
and those robot dogs. Have you seen those things? They got these ones with wheels on the feet, man, and they can balance out, dude. Like they're fast.
They're scary, man.
This guy's like, I mean, this guy put out a video on them, and he's showing how he can like come down a mountainside over big rocks, all that stuff, and they're running down hills, dude. You'd be tripping and falling on your face before you outrun something like this. And I mean, dude, they're going to get ready to hunt Christians with robotic technology. I do agree with Stuart on that. Absolutely.
You know, one reason for the whole pandemic situation was to put all the churches onto Facebook so they could get a list of every single member of every church.
Yeah,
They're definitely getting ready to for this.
absolutely. That's a good point. You know, we have to remember us watchmen. You know, we're definitely on a list. Don't think you're not. You'd be a naive and a fool to think that you're not on a list.
That's right.
Well, the whole point of the rapture is the word means to be snatched out of the way of like a moving train. So
Yeah.
the train's coming at you, you get snatched right out. So yeah, they're definitely coming for you, and some will be raptured out of that. Whatever.
Yeah. So when we're talking about 2025, will you be surprised at the end of the year if we're still here?
No.
End of 2025, I would be totally 100% shocked.
Shocked.
Completely shocked.
You say no, Josh? You think we'll still be here?
I'm not saying we'll still be here, but I'm not going to be shocked because people said the same thing in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. I'm just here along for the ride until Jesus decides to, until the Heavenly Father sends his son to come get us. You know where I stand. You know what I mean? I'm not
for sure,
nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to set a date, but it just seems kind of weird in the last 12 months compared to like 2 years ago. Like there's so much stuff going on. Like for me, I think Trump just it's almost like it feels like it's sped up a bunch of stuff as well.
Absolutely.
And the election went so smooth. I was like, man, all of my predictions, I was expecting people to protest on the streets and all this, and it just got quiet. Like it is really quiet now. That is strange.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the pre-tribulation rapture can happen at any time. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm just going to be occupying until he comes and doing what I can and praying to God it doesn't get too bad.
So you're not going to be surprised if, let's just say, January 1st, you're in heaven looking down. You won't be surprised or shocked.
Oh, I'd be surprised then. I'd be like, holy Lord, sweet baby Jesus.
Holy Moses. Great golden calves. You can't say that up here. By the way.
That's a new good name for Shane. Sane Shane. Pamela Swan says, I thought Rise of Fire. Sane Shane. That's a good one.
Insane Shane, I think. More like it.
Insane Shane in the membrane.
So in January, like we got 2 dates for me that I'm looking at. January 6th for me because my favorite organization in the world, CERN, gets fired up and they start releasing their little multi-parallel universe atomic particles smashing into each other. Look at that. I lost Stuart. Look at him. He's already there on January 6th. No, I thought you were just looking up like dreaming of January 6th. I can see that right now. I can see that happening. And then January 20th when Trump gets sworn in. I feel like those are 2 huge dates for January. Beyond that, I can't think too far ahead. Stun the crowd into silence. Hey, look at this. I just got a $10 super sticker.
Cha-ching.
Thank you for that, Isaiah. Cha-ching.
God bless him.
I should have the sound effect. Whenever somebody donates. Thank you.
Just give him the face. Give him the face. Give him the face.
Here it comes. Whenever somebody donates, it'll be like this. You get the face. It's so dumb. Now that I think about it, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've done. But it actually catches your attention. It's so dumb.
There's nothing wrong. It's not dumb to me, man.
I'm going to do that in real life to people.
That's dumb. You're dumb.
I'm going to do that in real life. If my wife says something to me, hey, honey, would you like to take out the garbage? I'll be like, what did you say? 1 second here. The sound effects in my pocket ready to go. I'll be like,
there would be like a comedy show with all of us watchmen, and we just all have some good laughs and bringing the new year that way, man.
I know. But yeah, so those are 2 dates. What are you thinking about there? You're meditating pretty hard there, Stuart, or I'm keeping you awake.
No, I never knew this about CERN starting on January 6th. So
yeah,
I think who is it? Vicky Goforth Parnell recently gave a prophecy that I think kind of, she didn't say this, but I think it pointed at January 7th. So, and I'm not going to get into details of that, but basically, December 25th is the Roman Catholic celebration of Christmas, and January 7th is the Eastern Orthodox celebration of Christmas. And to me, that holiday being split is like the Red Sea being split. And what's really interesting is that split took place 300 years ago. And Enoch, who represents the church being raptured, he was raptured 300 years after Methuselah was born. And of course, Methuselah is the prophecy that the end, when he dies, the end will come. And we know that during the tribulation that the world hates the whore and burns her flesh and stuff like that. So the Catholic Church is going to get destroyed. So I like this period of time as, our exit time.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Methuselah is born, and then, Enoch is born. And then 65 years later, Methuselah, I believe, is born. And then 300 years after that, he gets translated so that he wouldn't see death. And I believe he got taken right to heaven. There are some Jewish legend has it that some of the Jews say that Enoch actually got plucked and brought over to the Garden of Eden. And he's there being able to write down everything that Israel's doing and document everything and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know if I can buy that because it's been 2,000 years of documenting plus probably 4,000 years. Like he would have major writer's cramp. But it's interesting that I think I think it might be in Jubilees. I'm not sure. It's one of those, you got Enoch, you got the Book of Adam, you got the Book of Jubilees, you got the Giants. Like I've listened to all those books and they're crazy. Some of the stuff that they have in there. You think my channel's crazy? Just go listen to the Book of Enoch for a couple of hours, man. I'm telling you, there's some crazy stuff going on there, especially the Book of Giants. That is nutso. And we might not be that far away from Genesis 6 being reactivated here on Earth when we're raptured out of here. All of a sudden you have Nephilim walking around, people drinking Nephilim juice every once in a while, and then giants, all kinds of stuff. Like all you have to do is just build a machine that looks like a suit, like Iron Man, like one of those big Hulkbuster suits. Put the Nephilim in there. You'd never know. You just think those are just machines. Look at those things. You would never be able to tell the difference between a machine and what's inside it. There's no way to tell.
Well, yeah, the Nephilim will come back in the tribulation. That's true.
So again, my guess is something's going to happen January 6th. And then January 20th, I think something, anything that you can think of, like February, March, anything happening in Israel that could be spectacular.
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Keep an eye out.
6, a libsurrection.
A libsurrection. What's that?
The liberals are going to riot.
The liberal. Yeah.
It's the reversal of what? Never mind. All right.
Can you imagine that if they start storming the White House?
I
start looking around.
Pitchforks and torches.
This last week, I went
Not my president. Sorry.
I went to New York, and all of my family it's the bluest part. That's you got people from Vermont, and very, very blue. Nobody was saying one word about Trump or anything. And so I think there's a couple of people online who are just very vocal, but they don't represent the masses. I mean, so I think the people online, especially these kids, they are a distinct minority. So I think most Americans on either side of the political aisle just are looking for peaceful transition with, good outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I notice, like, on, not to go off on a different tangent, but I notice a lot of young people online. They're either, it's almost like they're in two camps. One is they're actually hungry to start looking into God's word. And then there's another camp where they just seem to be a little bit more angst, just a little bit more on edge. They're meaner in some ways. Like kids today seem to be a little bit meaner, because I notice it's not just kids, but even on my YouTube channel, people are saying crazy stuff. And it's because of the autonomous nature where they can say something and nobody can hold them accountable. They could say, they can call you a name and then leave, and you don't even know who they are or whatever. And that doesn't happen on the streets. When you go walking downtown somewhere, you don't have people coming up to you and saying, I'm going to unsubscribe to your channel. It just doesn't happen. It's only on here. People say crazy things like, you're a Satanist. It's like, I have yet to have somebody come up to me and say, you're a Satanist in person. They just don't do that. It's not how people treat each other. But when people are living in their basement somewhere, they feel free. I shouldn't say that. I'm in my basement right now.
He's in the Swan lair.
I'm in my basement. I'm in the Swan's lair. I like that. But they just say stuff, and then there's no accountability on that. It's sad.
Yeah, I'm 6'3", and I'm a pretty big guy, and I'm
6'3". I pegged you at like 5'5". Are you 6'3"?
Yeah, I'm 6'3".
You're taller than me, and look at it on the channel. Like, this is how you could tell how tall
I have
people
my
are.
camera up high because I don't want people to see my double chin.
Oh, I see. 6'3", man. I think I'm 5. I think I'm 5'2".
No, but anyways, I can guarantee you 99% of the people that say things to me the way that they say things to me online wouldn't say it in person.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
I've never had, in all the things that I've ever done for the Lord in person, I've never had a threat. I've never been like, I'm going to beat you up or punch you in the face or do anything. You know what I mean? People are cowards, that act like that. And they, like, you're right. They hide behind their ability to remain anonymous. I think that's only going to last for so long with the way the internet's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wouldn't have pegged you for 6'2", man. I thought you'd been like, I don't know, maybe like 5.
I hunch a lot. But yeah, clinically 6'2". So funny, right? I won't tell you how much I weigh because I need 2 scales. 2 scales.
One for each foot, right?
One for each foot. Yeah.
He's a chunker.
Yep, exactly. I've been on this crazy diet. Oh, how long have I been on this diet now? Since yesterday. The point is, I'm dying. I'm dying inside. I haven't had burritos. I haven't had Doritos, and I haven't had any McDonald's milkshakes or anything. You gotta help me. I'm dying inside. I'm dying. But as a consequence, I have not had heartburn for the past 48 hours, which is funny.
My plan today is to eat some jalapeno poppers tonight and get all fat and sassy. I'm not gonna lie. So
I also cut out the cream. So this is 48 hours, and I cut down to 2 cups of coffee as opposed to 1 pot every single day. So I cut, and cream. It probably wouldn't be a lie or a stretch for me to say I used to go through a liter of 10% cream every week. And I was always had mucus built up here all the time. I think I'm allergic to dairy. I should just go. I think
I might be lactose intolerant,
Could be. I think so. I think I'm just going to go meat. That's it. I'm just going to eat raw meat. That's it.
I don't know why Gary's not on with us. I'm kind of sad he's not on with us. He's in the live chat. He pops in, he says hello, and he tempts us, and he just doesn't hang out with us too as much.
He even has my password for my channel, so sometimes he'll pop in while we're doing a live. He'll clean something up, and then he'll disappear.
He says, Josh, I'm fat and sassy too. Oh, I love it. I love his sense of humor, man. It gets me, dude.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I should have had his face doing these every time somebody says something that's conspiracy. I should have had him show up all of a sudden. Maybe I'll do that since he raided my office and put my office on his channel and made it look like it was actually his office. So I think I'm going to do so. I'm going to put his face every time there's a conspiracy. You'll see Gary go like Zoolander.
I love it.
Yep. So any plans after tonight? Like, are you going straight to bed, Josh?
No, man, we're gonna stay up and hang out and
nice,
dude. Like I said, dude, I'm not kidding when I say I'm gonna eat jalapeno poppers and bring in the new year and get all fat.
You talk about me like I'm not here. I'm listening to everything y'all are saying.
You're coming in strong.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with this volume on this one. It's like really weird. But
hey, I gotta do this. Here comes.
Yeah, pitiful, just pitiful. Pretty good.
Anytime somebody
Low tech,
gives
but
you a
great.
thing, boom. Yeah. I hear an echo too.
I'm not on headphones. I'm not going to be here but a second. But I just want to say bless y'all and Happy New Year.
No, I appreciate you. I'm going to do a little face with your face doing those surprises whenever some conspiracy thing pops up. Is that okay? Do I have your permission?
You gotta go like this.
I need you to do the Zoolander for me like this. And then I'll put it up.
Well, sometimes when I'm wearing a white shirt, people think, hey, it's the Family Guy. You know, so I don't wear white shirts and I don't wear red because I don't want to be called the Kool-Aid Man either. So,
you know, I'm gonna talk to you like
I wore blue jeans and a red shirt one time to the grocery store and someone's like, hey, it's the white fat Albert. You know, hey. You know,
and I'll
you know,
there's nothing that irritates me more than people making fun of people for their weight, man. So I think that upsets me a lot. I'm glad that I'm not living in that area because I'd probably be saying something back to them.
That's
well,
funny.
look at you. You know what I mean? What room do you have to talk?
Yep.
Yeah,
we are getting
weight,
a little
but
bit.
You'll always be ugly.
Yeah, we are getting a little bit of an echo, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. See y'all.
No worries.
Yeah.
I almost like there was for a second intergalactic planetary.
Exactly. Gary, Gates. Exactly. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it was good to have him on here. You never know, like you might get somebody else that just might pop on randomly. Maybe Tom Cody. Don't know. I did send him a link. I said, Tom, if you want to jump on my show, feel free anytime, 24 hours a day. I may not be here all the time, but feel free. He could even take over my channel for a day if he wanted. I would let him do it. I really would. And Stuart, what are you doing after this show tonight? Are you going to watch Dick Clark's Countdown?
I'm going to spend time with my wife. I don't know, whatever she wants to watch, we'll watch. So.
Okay, nice. Might I recommend Don't Look Up?
I actually watched that last night. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, you did? Is it any good? I watched some of it.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty. It's a comedy, so there's like some parts that made me chuckle for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the
like
whole
they make
idea.
the government look absolutely stupid. So
yeah, I think the whole premise or the idea behind it is there's a meteor shower coming towards Earth and nobody believes it. Right? Is that kind of the backdrop?
Right? But yeah,
pretty much it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the government slogan is "Don't look up," and everybody else is saying, "No, look up." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another interesting movie. I don't highly recommend it, but I do to crazy people, and that's The World We Left Behind. Normal people won't like it. They won't get it at the end. They'll be like, "I don't understand." Yeah, they'll be like, "I don't understand."
Leave the World Behind.
Oh yeah, Leave the World. Maybe that's why they don't understand. Leave the World Behind is a fantastic movie. I don't care if Obama made it. It makes you think at the end. Like it to me, it felt like this is what the tribulation would look like after the rapture, and it's strange that Obama put money into that to make it look like that. Like it's like they're setting us up for something.
I don't even think that this is anything that's not very well known on, in our groups, but I absolutely love apocalyptic movies. Like
Oh yeah, me too.
there is nothing greater in a movie than societal collapse and everybody's like trying to figure it
Yeah.
out. Like, what's going on? Did you hear what's going on? No, man. Why are you running, bro? I told you this was coming. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's exciting,
Do you know the sequel to Castaway by Tom Hanks? Remember that sequel? It's called Legend. I Am Legend.
Oh.
That's the sequel to Castaway. Basically talking to a mannequin. He's like, "Get out of here. Stop it." And he's yelling. Remember that mannequin that was outside that store? I was terrified, man. I hate zombies next to
One of
sharks.
the best societal collapse movies I've seen is that A Quiet Place Day One. That prequel they made.
Oh, the very
that was like, it was almost like 75% of the movie was like what most people only show for like 10 minutes of a movie where like everything's falling apart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I like that part of the movie where it's like it's on the edge of your seat, dude. Everything's falling apart, power's going out, explosions are happening. Oh my gosh, what is taking place? You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. I even have a apocalyptic comic book collection that I collected comic books back in the day. I have like over 500 apocalyptic comics.
Wow.
Like, so, and I got a bunch of books behind me and stuff, So I mean,
there's
I'm kind of got a problem.
There's there's another movie called War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that was a good.
That one is amazing, and I actually heard that there's actually a video game out now called War of the Worlds that you can play. I don't know if you can play it on your phone. I should see. I don't play
Did you see
any
the TV show that came out not too long ago?
No, is it a TV show? I thought it was a video game.
Bro, the TV show was really good. They got this like rapture scenario that takes place in the beginning of it, and I'll give you guys this: an EMP goes off, and a whole bunch of people. Oh man, I don't want to give it away. But dude,
So what's that series called?
It was War of the Worlds.
Oh,
it's a
maybe
it's a 2-season thing. Now there's a War of the Worlds cowboy Wild West version. Don't bother with it. But the 2-season War of the Worlds that they just came out with, it was like 2021 or 2022 when they came out with it, maybe something like that. Dude, that was absolutely well done, and it's different though than what Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds was. Definitely different, but a little bit more realistic as to what's going to take place. It was a good movie. And then I don't know if you saw Invasion from Amazon Prime. That was a crazy show.
Yeah, that was that had a big twist at the end, right? Like I don't want to spoil it for anyone. That was
ish, but yeah, it's called Invasion. It's got 2 seasons on Amazon Prime, dude. That was
maybe
really
I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, that was really well made.
Have you seen this here? I don't know if you could see this. This is a dinosaur video game.
Okay, yeah, I sort of see it.
Not that I'm into dinosaurs or anything, but what's funny about this is I actually, back in the day, I used to have roommates, so I would have friends or whatever that they couldn't afford a home or whatever, so they would move in with us, with my wife and my kids, and they'd occupy the basement. Well, there are these 2 brothers that actually lived with us, and one of them actually was a fantastic artist. He used to teach Sunday school and all this kind of stuff, and he would draw all these ninjas, all these samurai guys. That's all he would do in school, like in class and all this stuff. Wouldn't you know it, Disney hired this guy, Disney, and he moved to Vancouver to work for Disney. Then his other brother moved into basically 2 out of the 3 brothers ended up living with me, and the other brother he was getting into 3D Studio Max. I don't know if you remember that software, but he was teaching himself how to design video games and all this kind of stuff. And I would never see him. He's always in his basement. And I'm thinking, is this guy making a bomb or something? What's he kind of looked a little bit shady, right? But he was always in the basement playing World of Warcraft and trying to design a video game. And then, wouldn't you know it, one of the video games that he was working on was a dinosaur game where you can actually ride these dinosaurs and hunt other dinosaurs and all this crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if that's this guy's video game here. He actually got picked up by Disney as well to build video games for Disney. It's insane. 2 guys out of my home. And what do I get? I didn't get any royalties, no commission, nothing. But they both work for Disney. It's a crazy, man.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That's crazy.
So I was trying to look for War of the Worlds, the video game. I don't see it. So maybe that was a TV series that I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't see it on my phone. Unless it's a PC game or something. I'm not a real gamer. I used to be a video game guy where you just stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning and play video games. I can't do that. I am, how do you say, past the prime. I think Stuart plays video games, though. I could tell. Your mic's off, bro. I'm guessing 1942.
What, is that a video game?
Oh, you don't play video games at all? Ever?
Ever.
He's like, I'm a hardcore gamer.
No, I mean, I think way back when they had Pong, I tried it out. But,
hey, don't underestimate Pong. Pong was a fantastic game. that dates us right there.
I'm going to be honest with you. The last time I played video games, I think, was when the Xbox 360 was a thing. Like I just said I fell off of it, man. It just wasn't my thing.
The only time I played video games was when my brother-in-law would come over and my son had, I think it was like Nintendo 64 or something. And I'd tell my brother-in-law, Wade, I'm like, hey, check this video game out. It's kind of cool. And I'd put the cartridge in, and then my son would have a controller. I'd have a controller, and my brother-in-law. And he's like, what is this game? And I'm like, oh, it's just a tables, ladders, and chairs match. That's all for WWE. And he's like, what? I don't want to play this. So my son would grab him in the video game, and I'd go and grab a chair, and I'd beat him over the head. And my son and I would double team this guy for the whole game. And he's like, I'm not playing this game anymore with you guys. You guys are crazy. So that was it for my. It's not fair. But so Stuart's going to hang out, maybe go out tonight somewhere? Go watch the fireworks, or are you just going to stay at home and chill?
Oh, I don't think we have fireworks here, but I suppose I'm not going to go see them.
Okay. And Josh, you just going to bed after this?
No, jalapeno poppers, bro. I wasn't kidding.
Yeah, you stayed up. Yeah, we're going to try and stay up and watch the New York countdown. I'm hoping there's no black swan. It's kind of weird for this channel because if anything crazy happens in the U.S., I'll be talking about it tomorrow sometime. So I hope nothing crazy happens.
There's a lot of people sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine tonight, and for me, it's just jalapeno poppers, man. You know what? You know what? We're splurging, and we're doing double bacon. All right. So.
Oh wow, making me hungry.
Oh man.
Yeah. So any.
Hey, I want to say this, Shane.
Okay, go ahead.
We gotta exchange numbers because I just got a new cell phone plan, and I can call Canada for free now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, just email me your cell phone number, and then
digits.
we can chit-chat.
I'll give you my digits, bruh.
Awesome. So any final thoughts before we go tonight and let people watch and bring in the new year? Any final thoughts there, Stuart? And then I'll wrap it up. So Stuart, Josh, and then myself. Well, or you can do sign language if you want, if that helps.
I mean, from my point of view, I'm just making sure I've got everything ready to go for this, what I consider to be a rapture that's going to be real soon. Have your letters, left behind letters written. And, I've stocked up some food for people who are left behind, hopefully not myself, but if so, I'm ready to go out swinging. So,
right.
Have the right attitude. I think it's about everybody should be very active in preaching the gospel, sharing their testimony, being a witness for the Lord. It's not about whether someone talks about, the being a watchman. That doesn't matter that much. But, we were commissioned, charged to be witnesses. So we really have to be faithful to that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. Thank you for that. And Josh, final thoughts. This is your last thought of the year on this channel.
Well, first off, I'm thinking someone stole my name, End Times Talk, but they merged the End Times together. You know what I mean? In
Oh,
the
did
live
they?
chat there. Oh yeah. But no, I'm just thankful, man, that we get more time to win souls. I'm thankful that Jesus has done what he's done. I'm a firm believer that we've been seeing pockets of revival break out, and that's going to continue to happen for up until our Heavenly Father says, Jesus, go get your bride and bring them home. I'm excited for what's ahead, regardless of whether it's apocalyptic, whether it's the rapture, whether it's this or that. I'm just in this for the long haul and the ride, man. I'm excited, man. I mean, we could have been born any other time in history. We could have been back in the medieval ages, the first industrial revolution. We could have been born back in ancient times, but no, we are here and we're now, and we're getting to see things that nobody else has seen, like biblical prophecy unfolding before our eyes on the daily. You know what I mean? And I think that's an encouraging thing. And Jesus says, when you see all these things, look up, your redemption draweth nigh.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I'm starting to see messages coming in. I never did this last year at all. I didn't even think about doing something on New Year's Eve, but I'm starting to see messages coming in of people saying Happy New Year. So if it's midnight in your time zone as you're watching this, Happy New Year, happy 2025. You made it. We still haven't made it yet. We're still back in time. We're in 2024. What's it like being in the future? It's actually pretty neat to see this, that people can actually chime in from really all over the world and say Happy New Year and all that kind of stuff. I like that.
It's literally time travel. It's like they're going back in time to say we're already in the new year.
Yeah. That would be weird to celebrate New Year's Day and then go to Hawaii or somewhere or Australia and then back up and then do it again. It's like, I feel like this is deja vu.
End Times Talk just said Shane reminds me of Jim Carrey, the cable guy. I don't see it.
No, that was a great show, by the way. That guy was insane.
I have stalkers that are just like that, dude. I'm not joking around with you. You'd be
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You want to watch some late night movies?
Really?
Really now.
Really?
Awesome. Well, thanks guys so much for being on the show. I really appreciate you guys. And if you don't mind hanging out in the back, I will say goodbye to everyone. All right. Punt and punt. There we go. Now that they're gone, we can have a real conversation here. Really now. But it's been fun. It was fun having Stuart on here. It was also fun having Josh. Go check out their channels as well. In the new year, subscribe to their channel, all this kind of good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, share the video, and Happy New Year to all you guys. Really appreciate you guys a lot. And I will see you guys in the new year. Bye for now.